little bit of smoke on the water from the orchestra in attendance here at the Samara Academic Opera and Ballet House tonight. And that heralds the arrival of Amin ABDULLIN from right here in Russia. This an IBA.PRO contest scheduled for 6th. Amin ABDULLIN at the start of his professional career, having made his professional debut in August. It was a winning start in Kazan, winning over 4 rounds.
Из Москвы, Россия, Ruslan BELOUSOV!
His opponent is from the Russian capital of Moscow, and that is Ruslan BELOUSOV. No stranger to competing on the IBA.PRO stage. Having boxed twice in Russia, once on the IBA International Boxing Day in Havana in Cuba last year, where he came up short against the estimable Seidel Horta. Bounced back to winning ways in January of this year in his home city of Moscow at the International Boxing Center.
Итак, дамы и господа, нас ожидают 6 раундов в полулегком весе. Представляю участников боя. Первый боксер в черном углу.
Dennis Lebedev in the house, an interested onlooker.
175 сантиметров, официальный вес 57,2 килограмма. Мастер спорта России, победитель чемпионата России среди молодежи, финалист Кубка мира с профессиональным рекордом 1 бой. В нем одержана победа из Казани, Республика Татарстан, Россия, Амин Абдуллин. Его сопернику в золотом углу 27 лет. Его рост 168 сантиметров, официальный вес 57,2 килограмма. Мастер спорта международного класса, финалист и бронзовый призер чемпионатов России, не знающий поражений, с рекордом 4 боя, 4 победы, 3 из них нокаутом. Из Москвы, Россия, Ruslan BELOUSOV! Рефери поединка Сергей Журкин.
Голову выше, ниже пояса не бить, не держать. Слушайте, выполнять команды. Удачи.
Brief set of final instructions from the referee, Mr. Sergei Zhurkin. And there, look at the tail of the tape. Amin ABDULLIN, 7 years junior. Ahead of this, his first outing on the IBA.PRO stage, just the second pro bout of his career. You can see he's the taller of the two men in a contest made at 57.2 kilograms. Both men weighing in bang on the limit. And will the taller boxer, 20-year-old Amin ABDULLIN, from Kazan, actually born in Uzbekistan, will he be able to turn his attributes of greater height and reach and length into an asset against Ruslan BELOUSOV, this fantastic operator from Moscow. So left-right combination attempted by BELOUSOV. And there, well, that's the gap that he's going to have to bridge at BELOUSOV, because when Amin ABDULLIN begins to snake out those straight shots, BELOUSOV scores with a good left jab to the body, but when ABDULLIN is able to snake out his own straight shots, there is a considerable gap between the two boxers. 126-pound contest, 57.2 kilograms in new money, but that is where he can make hay, BELOUSOV. when it does get close, target the long torso of his taller opponent.
Низко не бить, Руслан. Низко не бить.
So turning southpaw now is Abdullin. Again, having his ribs rattled on the inside, and there's a cracking left hand. Abdullin emerges from that, coming together as an orthodox boxer, getting onto the front foot now, looking to walk down his shorter opponent and keep him pegged to the perimeter of the boxing ring. Hooks and uppercuts turned around the corner and underneath as Abdullin, shorts perhaps riding up a little high. As the referee, Mr. Sergei Zhurkin, seems to determine what is a low blow or otherwise. That waistband is practically around Abdullin's lat. So, skillful opening round in evidence in this featherweight bout, scheduled for 6. The two young, talented boxers. Some of the action from the first round, a nice slip beneath the incoming straight shot and attempting to work the body was BELOUSOV. Then Abdullin answering back immediately, and despite being a taller boxer, turning good uppercuts underneath before following up with straight shot successes.
Второй раунд.
Бокс.
So we move into the second round then. This is featherweight action scheduled for 6 threes. The taller figure wearing the black trunks trimmed with gold is another one of the men who switches. Well, I say switches, he's not gone back yet, but he only made his professional debut in August. And just prior to making his debut, just 10 days before, he was in the ring in Yekaterinburg in 3-round action. So is that his farewell to the 3-round format of IBA boxing, formerly known as amateur boxing? Or will he continue to switch between the two? There's a right hand off the back foot once again from Amin ABDULLIN. As for BELOUSOV, he was in the ring, as mentioned, at the famous Luzhniki Boxing Center in Moscow. That's where Alexander Usyk ascended to the undisputed cruiserweight championship of the world when he beat Murat Gastiev. Gastiev going to be scheduled to appear on the IBA.PRO stage next month in Dubai. I was ringside to commentate on that, the climax of the World Boxing Super Series, the Muhammad Ali Trophy, as BELOUSOV operating as a southpaw boxer now and getting through with a rapid-fire right jab against his opponent, who is currently orthodox, but he turns a right uppercut underneath before emerging as a southpaw boxer, currently almost square on, and he's using the space of the ring effectively, is Abdullin. And again, his sheer proportions are making it difficult for BELOUSOV to get to grips with him consistently, but as I say that, he does get inside and land some arcing punches. So both men enjoying backhand success as they continue to switch between stances. BELOUSOV starting that exchange as a southpaw, now disengaging as an orthodox, making his man miss by slipping and dipping, unable to make him pay. Good left jab to the body from BELOUSOV, and then digging away downstairs once again. 3 right hands dug in quick fire succession. You can see how the shorts are continuing to ride up almost beneath the bottom of the pecs of Abdullin. Speculative overhand right fired in by Belousov. Closing second of this second round. Competitive contest, this one. Two switch-hitting young boxers, each of them enjoying considerable success during the course of that second round.
Как самочувствие? Нормально? Третий раунд смотри, понял? Уже понятно, что он делает, не делает и так далее. Все. Поднагреть передний, поднагреть. Все, раскрывайся потихоньку, понял? Давай.
Руслан, голову выше.
Третий раунд.
Шаг назад. Бокс.
So we move into the third round. Featherweight action scheduled for 6, and that's a wonderful thrusting left jab driven into the body of Abdullin from Belousov. And even though
Руслан, низко.
dug in beneath the elbows of Abdullin from Belousov, he's increasingly making his man miss in the start. At the start of this third round and making him pay with accurate punches.
Команду слушать, шаг назад, брейк, окей? Слушаем команду, шаг назад.
But even though the advantage would appear to lie with Abdullin in terms of utilizing the jab, there have been plenty of boxers who were shorter than their opponents throughout the history of this fantastic sport, who often beat their taller adversaries to the jab. The jab all about timing. Hall of Famer and two-weight world champion Emil Griffith, welterweight and middleweight champion of the world, was almost invariably shorter than every opponent that he faced, but his timing was such that his jab was exquisite and a really prominent weapon in his armory. And the lead, well, I was going to say lead left hand, but you see Belousov currently is a southpaw boxer, but the lead stick has been working very well indeed as he steps into range and helps himself to an overhand left and another one. Getting increasingly physical here now, just beyond the halfway stage of this third round. And Belousov, the older man by some 7 years, remember, just seeking to assert his deeper level of experience. Big swing and a miss with a roundhouse left out of the southpaw stance. Attempted to fire to the body. It's been a good round so far for Belousov. Abdullin has got to do something to get himself back into this stanza for my money. And he's trying to do that, but then look at that two-shot salvo to end the exchange. Oh, and a good right hand to the body, driven in. Bent over the taller man. And then he spent any time in the ring. Credit to him, Abdullin comes back with a good left hook to the body of his own. But that hard right hand to the body just above the belt line visibly doubled the man over, causing him to hinge at the waist. And surely this is where Belousov wants to be working away, not accepting the clinch. Free those hands and dig to the taller man's torso. That's what he's seeking to do here. Abdullin looking to fight fire with fire, but all of his advantages of height and reach negated in those confined positions up close. Up on his toes now, using the space of the boxing ring. That's a good adjustment for him, but I think it's a better round from Belousov. Some of the action from that round. Abdullin, taller of the two boxers, seeking to establish his straight, but he was beat to the jab repeatedly by Belousov, and then when he got himself into mid-range, he was able to have combination successes such as that.
Руслан, будешь держать на концу, не держать, не держать. Бокс.
So moving to round number 4, it's the second half of this featherweight contest that is scheduled for 6 3-minute rounds. Belousov has emerged as a southpaw. Abdullin operating from behind a low-held guard here now. Abdullin changing to the southpaw during the midst of that brief coming together. But unless he gets busy with his hands, it's going to be very difficult for Abdullin to win the contest in this type of posture. He's on the back foot, he's maintaining the gap. There he takes a hard southpaw left uppercut to the body. There's a lead left hand once again, but he's got to be busier with it. Because when they come together like this, it's invariably, over the past couple of rounds, Belousov who's getting the better of the trade-offs. Right hand lead was a scoring shot, followed by a jab, and I think that's close enough together to make it a reverse 1-2. But Belousov just giving the impression that he's the slightly fresher fighter here now, certainly more sprightly as he digs down with a combination to the body once again, then drives through with a left cross upstairs. And Abdullin, remember, it's not brand new territory because on his pro debut he went the 4-round distance, but he far less used to going 6 rounds, and in each of his IBA champions or pro night appearances, that is what Belousov has done. So he just warming up, and that one of the biggest differences between the 3-round format and professional boxing. Because both 3-round specialists and world champions have told me that when the pro world champ goes up to get sharp against some of the top operators from the 3-round code in the world, over the first 2 rounds, or indeed 3, it's often advantage the world champion or the Olympic champion. But then if they stick around and do rounds 3, 4, 5, and 6, that is when the world champion's deeper level of experience begins to come to the fore, and all of that 3-round format sharpness doesn't serve a young hotshot as well when sharing the ring with an established professional world champion. Not quite as extreme here, of course, but remember, this is just Abdullin's second contest in the professional ranks, having just turned over in August of this year. Belousov, who turned over way back in 2021, was an undefeated 4-0 pro in the professional ranks, away from IBA pro stages. He has far more experience here in the town keeper, say round 4, 5 and beyond. So entering the bell to round number 5 represents a brand new experience for Amin ABDULLIN, the taller boxer wearing the black trunks trimmed with gold, but he's come out in sprightly fashion to begin this round, up on his toes, and he was up on his toes in round number 4, but not as busy with his hands as he's been through the first 20 seconds of this penultimate round. And surely if he's going to be utilizing the space of the boxing ring and trying to exploit his greater height and reach, he's got to be busy with it. It's no good just maintaining the gap. It's got to be breached by punch successes in the face of this front foot pressure that Ruslan BELOUSOV is seeking to apply. There he does so by getting to the body of his opponent and then targeting the chin effectively as well. But keeping cool under fire is the 20-year-old Amin ABDULLIN.
Стоп! Не держи. Шаг назад. Бокс!
So referee Mr. Sergei Zhurkin having to intervene. But it's BELOUSOV on the front foot in pursuit of his man once again. And you see, this type of boxing, for my money, is not going to be enough. Making his man miss with good use of the feet and effective use of the space of the boxing ring. But there has to be some effective offense on the back of that. And if you are going to operate as a back foot boxer, credit to him, because that was exactly what I was about to suggest, but that darting jab won't get it done. At some point as a back foot boxer, you have to plant those feet into the canvas and push your opponent backwards. Because in the 3-round format, scoring punches such as that will often be more rewarded. But once you turn over and remove that vest and enter contests that are longer than a 3-round duration, has to be some purpose behind the punch. Of course, that's the case in the 3-round format of World Championship and Olympic boxing as well. But in the professionals, punch picking while giving off a skittish appearance is often frowned upon. So at some point you've got to plant your feet, bite down and drive your opponent backwards if you're a back foot boxer. That's what Chris credit ABDULLIN is trying to do here. But flicking punches while skitting around the boxing ring often will not be rewarded once you enter the professional ranks. So closing seconds of this penultimate round. And he's showing a good temperament, is Amin ABDULLIN. And there he does try to find a home for his combination punching. Scoring left jab from the taller man, but countered immediately by a lancing left jab to the body and another one. So 3 minutes remaining in our 5th bout of the evening here in Samara. And it's featherweight affair.
То есть наоборот, вот бить надо. Что значит не идти на него? Надо пожестче, просто поплотнее. Выбрасываешь, потом остаешься башкой лицом. Сделай несколько комбинаций.
Some of the action from round number 5. Good work to the body once again from BELOUSOV. Here's an example. ABDULLIN holding his ground, planting his feet and seeking to back up his more compact opponent. 3 minutes remaining. For what it's worth, I have to think that BELOUSOV is in front on the card with 5 completed rounds of boxing in the book.
Руслан, не держать. Боксируйте. Бокс!
So we're moving to the 6th and final round then. Ruslan BELOUSOV out quickly onto the front foot, and it's a blistering start to the final frame by the man from Moscow. And again, I just don't think that the time is on ABDULLIN's side to be boxing in the manner that he is, because for what it's worth, I happen to think that he's trailing in this contest. There's got to be greater urgency. He's keeping his composure effectively. He's keeping his shape nicely for the most part. He's making his man miss on occasion, but not looking to make him pay often enough. Now he's beginning to let his hands go.
Не держим. Амин, не держать.
Good portion of the round punctuated by those straight lead lefts from ABDULLIN. But the manner in which he's boxing suggests that he feels he may well be up on the scorecard. But remember, he's got a corner team as well. I don't know what they've been telling him in that black corner, because he's showcasing that he knows what to do in a boxing ring. He knows that he's showing that he's not scared and that he is competitive. But I just don't think that enough punches have been thrown to put doubt into BELOUSOV's mind on a consistent basis and make him do something other than what he wants to do. Belousov, for his part,
Держать, Амин, не держим, не держим.
sought to continue to apply front foot pressure. Now Abdullin looking to back up
Голову выше,
Belousov.
Руслан, не держим. Брык! По шагу назад, по шагу назад.
Cries of Ruslan, Ruslan reverberating around the Samara Academic Opera and Ballet House here. And how much is that providing inspiration for Belousov, because it's been a contest fought at a brisk tempo this. Remember, Abdullin had never been beyond 4 rounds, the 4 rounds that he went on his professional debut a few months ago in August of this year.
Не держим, не держим.
So final 30 seconds of this featherweight affair. Cuffing punches landed on the inside by Belousov. Credit to Abdullin, trying to back his man up. Did show on occasion, adopted the posture of a tall front foot pressure fighter, but now he's finding himself with his back on the ropes, inviting pressure, and Belousov took full advantage, blasting away to the body. Abdullin continuing to operate behind a low-held guard, and at a wonderful IBA.PRO contest. First appearance on the IBA.PRO stage for Amin Abdullin. But I think it's this man, Ruslan Belousov, who is going to continue his winning run here on IBA.PRO events. Aiming with a record of 2 wins and 1 loss, after being outpointed by Sadio Horta in the Cuban capital last summer. Was met with a talented opponent in the form of Amin Abdullin, as evidenced by that wonderfully picked right uppercut. But overall, it was marauding attacks such as that launched by Belousov, which I think will probably be enough to see him declared as a points victor here. What say the scoring judges? But remember, Amin Abdullin just 20 years of age. And one suspects that this man has a bright future. Rangy, broad-shouldered boxer. One suspects not growing in height, he's likely to be adding some muscle to that rather callow frame at present. Who knows what weight division he could end up at, but here at 57.2 kilograms or 126 pounds featherweight, he is a towering operator. And as he gains more experience to augment his considerable skill, well, one suspects he could make a significant impact in and around his weight class in the featherweight division. Well, let's hand over to Alexander Sadokov to get the official particulars at the conclusion of that featherweight contest over 6 rounds in IBA.PRO.
Дамы и господа, прежде чем прозвучит имя победителя, давайте поблагодарим обоих боксеров за этот ярчайший бой. Итак, по истечении 6 раундов обратимся к судейским запискам. Судья 1 58-56. Судья 2 58-56. И судья 3 56-56. Таким образом, большинством судейских голосов победу по очкам одержал Руслан Белоусов! Золотой угол, Москва, Россия!
So Ruslan Belousov declared a majority decision winner over Amin Abdullin, the man making his first appearance on the IBA.PRO stage. Abdullin outpointed by majority decision by Ruslan Belousov. I happen to think that Belousov did enough. I didn't think it was that close. Abdullin, plenty of skill in evidence, wonderful composure and technique. And this is his first outing on the IBA.PRO stage. I just didn't think there was enough good work on a consistent basis from Abdullin to be given the nod. Belousov getting it by a majority decision. Amin Abdullin, I'm sure we're going to see him again, given the manner in which he acquitted himself in his first outing on the stage of IBA.PRO event. With Ruslan Belousov, he takes the victory to improve to 3-1 on IBA professional events. And remember, he is undefeated in the professional ranks away from the IBA.PRO stage, so continuing to cultivate that winning habit as he progresses through his career.